Hello people, Jeff the King here with Team Critical Trigger, and welcome to my second video on Cardfight Vanguard. And, well, today we're bringing you some tech choices, basically, not another deck profile, some cards I think can be run in most decks to give you a little bit of a push, but obviously I don't know, people are a bit against teching sometimes. People don't really like to mix clans too much because of, certain effects you need the same clan and stuff, but these are cards I think won't actually ruin your deck as a whole if you put these in. So we start off with this one, this Flame of Hope and Arrow. This is a weird one. I'm starting with this one because it's a weird one. This card, when the attack hits that this card boosted that attack, you get to discard a card and draw a card. Now the reason this is weird is because basically I think every clan has a clone of this card. They all have a card where it does the exact same effect but for their clan. But the only reason why this is in here right now is because basically all those other cards for us are not out yet. So if you want to get this effect, you're running this card. And it's an effect you want. It's a very good effect. It's a 6k booster. It's not amazing, but not too bad, but because of its effect it totally makes it worth having just 6k boost. Being able to get rid of your needless cards like grade 3s that you can't even use anymore because you've already got few on the field, and obviously you don't want to clog your field up with grade 3s and cards that have just become useless. This gets rid of them and gets you a fresh card from your deck, and that's a very good effect. There's nothing more to say other than that's a bloody good effect. I run this in quite a lot of decks because it's such a good card, really good card. Right, number 2, the next 3 will be grade 3s, and grade 3s that run very different purposes. Number 1, this is a beat stick, and one of the best beat sticks I think that's out there. It's just Tyrant Deathrex. It's so good, it's unbelievable. I just love this card. All these cards I'm going to be like, I love this card because I love all these cards. As a Vanguard, when it attacks it gains plus 5,000, so that's 15k with no boost at all. So 15k no boost, very 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 good. Obviously without a boost you hit 15k, that means they have to usually use a 10 guard against another 10k Vanguard. But it's got a negative effect. If you actually hit with your attack, you have to retire one of your rearguard units. Now that can be a bit troublesome, people may think that, but obviously number 1 you'd retire something you already attacked with. If you haven't done that, then there's something wrong with you. And retiring 1 unit to get 15k without a boost, I think it's worth it. Some people don't. Not everyone agrees that this is a tech card, but I think this can be run in nearly every deck. And then think of it in decks that get rearguards really easily, such as the Royal Paladins. Let's say a budget Royal Paladin deck would love this card to bits. I've got my Barkle, which is worth £2, so it's easy enough to get, so that still fits in with the budget theme, even though it's like one of the best bloody starting Vanguards in existence. And I can just bring out a rearguard every turn. Sure, it's one of my triggers, but I can bring one out every turn. Then I've got the rest of my Royal Paladin deck that can bring out cards every turn, and this guy can just eat them up for breakfast and use them. Use Barkle, bring something out behind him. Let's say a Flogel, you attack, that makes you 20k. You get rid of your Flogel if you hit, because Flogel's already used that turn. You don't really care, because you'll probably replace it with something else you play out next turn. It just works so well, and one of the best things about this card is you only have to sacrifice a rearguard if it hits. If you go through all this trouble to get him out and then to attack with him, and you're going to sacrifice your... I just knocked my cards in. If you're going to sacrifice one of your rear guards and then you go through all that trouble and they perfect guard it, it's like, oh well. But because he hasn't hit, you don't actually have to sacrifice your rear guard. You only sacrifice it when it hits, which makes him so good. Such a good beater. If you want attack and your deck doesn't have enough brute force, then look into this guy. Next, we have Hell Spider. Amazing effect. When it's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, you can counterblast 2, and basically you pick one of your opponent's rested units and it cannot stand their next turn. So you basically render one of their units completely useless for the next turn. Now, you may be thinking, but they'll just replace that and get rid of it, replace it with something else, retire, replace, attack instead. Well, that's if you're you're resting that. But if you're resting something, let's say, like behind their Vanguard they have their 8k vanilla booster, and you stop that from being able to boost next turn by making it so it can't stand. They only have 4 of that card in their deck, and 8k obviously boosters, we know, are very, very good. You're going to make that useless, chances are they might not want to get rid of it just so they can replace it with a 6k or 7k booster, which obviously just is not as amazing. Very, very good effect, and pretty good replacement Vanguard if you don't draw the Vanguard you want to have, because when it's on your Vanguard, when all your opponent's units are rested, it goes up by 3000, making it 13k with Vanguard. So again, it's got some of the brute force, so this guy has, not as much, but at the same time he has a second effect which can be very useful. Now, it can't always hit off. Sometimes your opponent will have an 8k, 8000 and then a 10k interceptor is what I'm trying to say there, and they won't be able to hit you with it. It's happened to me before, it's happened to pretty much everyone before. You got your 8k dude there, you got nothing behind him, but you've just put him on the field so that they can intercept next turn. That's pretty much one of the only situations where this guy doesn't get off, unless they know you run it and they're purposely going to not attack with everything. But other than that, most of the time all their stuff's going to be in rest, so very good replacement Vanguard as well, and a very good effect. Obviously Counterblast 2, to only stop 1, bit iffy, but I'm thinking of running these and some of the lower ones that do the Counterblast 2 they can't stand with Maneuver Grapplers, because I get to attack more times a turn, they get to attack less times a turn, and I can unflip the damage that these guys hit with, so it's tempting me. I'm really tempted by that. Good tech card though. Number 3, you saw this in my Nova Grappler deck as well, Stealth Dragon Voidmaster. This card is amazing. There's no way for me to get around other than the fact I think this card is amazing. Only 8k grade 3, as I said in that video. Bit of a problem. Who cares? His ability, he hits. If you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you counterblast 1, they discard a card. That's Vanguard or Rearguard, making this something you probably want in your Rearguard. But then again, he can be a replacement Vanguard. If you've got a bigger number of cards in your hand than your opponent, when he's your Vanguard, he goes up to 12k, which is pretty reasonable. It's a nice number for a Vanguard. Can be a replacement Vanguard, let's say in a deck that, let's say you're versing your opponent and you know your opponent burns through cards really fast, then this can be a good replacement Vanguard as well. But most of the time you do want him to be your Rearguard, because that Counterblast 1, basically what that means, I've said this before in my other video, but this is for people that haven't heard this. If he attacks, they're going to guard, no matter what, they're always going to guard against him, because if they don't guard, they're going to lose a card anyway, so they might as well. And people sometimes, they just want to take a hit and guard against something that's a lot more threatening. This guy stops them doing that. It makes it very annoying because they have to pretty much guard him all the time. Not even pretty much, they have to guard him all the time unless they have equal or more cards than you, which is very easy to achieve them not having that, let's face it. Very, very good card. Really annoying. People will get annoyed very quickly with you if you're using this card in your deck, and it works very well in it. It works very well in my Nova Grappler deck because I attack with him, they will guard it. I attack with my Vanguard, I stun this guy because I run quite a few stun triggers, and I attack with him again and they have to guard it again. I basically use this shitty little thing. He's not shit, but his low attack makes him a shitty little thing in most people's eyes, to waste 2 of their guards. That is good. Very good. Now, next one. Grade 2. Pretty much my favourite tech at the moment. It is High Speed Bracky. I would run this guy in my Nova Grappler deck, but I sadly cannot. I want to, but as soon as he hits, he goes back to the deck if you use the effect, and you want to be using his effect because his effect's really good. If he didn't go back straight away, if he went at the end, I'd use him, but I really want to use him on Nova Grapplers. I have basically used him in every other deck I've had. Before that, he was in my Kagero deck. I got rid of my Kagero deck, but before I got rid of it, I had this guy in because it was a Goku Kagero. I didn't use my soul whatsoever, this guy's effect. As a Rearguard, you can Soul Blast 1, so you take 1 from under your Vanguard, get it to the discard. He goes up to by 5k, making him 14k without a boost by himself. 14k grade 2 without anything. Such a good card. His only downside is, as soon as he hits, right, is it when he hits or the close step of that battle. So even if it doesn't hit, as soon as he's attacked, he goes back to the deck. That's his only downside. But swinging for 14k without a boost, so say you got him and then an 8k vanilla behind him, that's 22k with a rear guard, without any effort, let's face it, at all. It's just so good. There's a few decks that isn't working, Nova Grapplers for one, ones that actually 100% need your soul, let's say Pale Moon, Dark Irregulars, the soul using version of Oracle Think Tank, he won't work in them, but in the other decks, all the others, he will work. I am building a Oracle Think Tank Coco deck, which requires you to have no soul. This guy's going in, simply because I think it's that awesome. I completely ignoring some of their own cards, simply because I think this guy, the Oracle Think Tank, they have so much draw power anyway, I thought I'd put him in and make it draw power and attack power. Then I have both, and he empties my soul, and if he doesn't, then he's a 9k grade 2, which is reasonable. I can't really complain with that. Good card. Very good card, very good tech. I want him in nearly all my decks. I just want him to be there. So these are just 5 cards right now. I'll probably release more videos on tech cards, but for now, 5 cards I think you guys should really think about, and think about if you actually do want to mix decks, that these cards can be mixed very easily into most decks. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and goodbye for now.